Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Pierce, and I am one of the travel agents with Marvelous Mouse Travels. We are the agency that runs this Facebook group, along with several others that are focused on different destinations. Welcome to Sundays with MMT. This is a weekly live agent panel video series that we do in one of our Facebook groups every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're really excited to be here in this group tonight to talk to you about Club Med. A team of our agents just got back from a training trip to Club Med in Miches in the Dominican Republic. And so they are really excited to share an overview of the resort with you and the things that they enjoyed and that they, think that you would benefit from as well. So we have a lot of information that we're going to share with you, but we also would love to take any questions that you have. So if at any point during this feed you think of a question, feel free to go ahead and drop that into the comments and we will either address it immediately or we will come back and get, questions at the end, just kind of depending on the flow of conversation and how all of that goes. We are using a platform called StreamYard to go live this evening. So StreamYard might ask you if you want to post a comment or a question to approve it to display your username and profile picture. Just know that you can decline that permission and you can still post and interact with us anonymously. So I'm joined tonight by 4 of our marvelous agents. Ladies, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And if you would take just a second to tell everybody your name, how long you've been with the agency, and the best way for people to contact you if they're interested in planning a trip.
Hi, I'm Erin Isendorf. I am from Claremont, Florida. I have been with the agency since 2016. So I'm coming up on year 6 here. And the best way to reach me is my email, and it's seen below. It's just erin.azendorf@marvelousmousetravels.com.
Hi, I'm Katie Kennedy. I live in North Carolina, and I've been with the agency since 2020, so a little over 2 years. And you can contact me by my email, katie.kennedy@marvelousmousetravels.com.
Hi, my name is Kristen Schirmer. I am a Marvelous Mouse agent. I'm going on my 5th year at the end of the summer. And you can reach me at my email, Schirmer@marvelousmousetravels.com.
Hi, I'm Kendra. I'm from North Carolina. I will be 2 years with the agency in June. I am also from North Carolina, and you can reach me at kendra@marvelousmousetravels.com.
And again, my name is Ginger. I actually just celebrated my 4-year anniversary with the agency yesterday. So that was a huge milestone. I know. I can't believe it's been 4 years. Time flies when you're having fun. I am based in Tennessee, and the best way to reach out to me is to visit my blog, which you can find at gingermmt.com. So, ladies, Club Med is obviously, a whole resort brand, and they have resorts all over. They have one in Florida. In fact, they're one of only 2 all-inclusive resorts in the continental United States, which, a lot of people don't realize that there really aren't that many all-inclusive options in the States. But obviously, they have lots of options throughout the Caribbean and different places as well. So, talk to us a little bit about the specific resort that you visited. So, where was it based? Tell us a little bit about the amenities and the activities that there were at this particular Club Med property.
Okay, so when you go to the Dominican Republic, we all flew into Punta Cana, PUJ, and then we took a transfer to Miches, and the resort is gorgeous. It's secluded, and it's not too big, but it's just the right size, and it's really just a beautiful resort.
One of my favorite things about the resort is that it's one of only 2 resorts in that whole area. So unlike Cancun, where you have the hotel zone where it's boom, 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 we didn't see another soul, another resort, another thing. Whether you walked 2, 3 miles down the beach, there is nothing. And it is the most naturally beautiful place I have ever seen in my entire life.
I have to agree. Sorry, Kendra.
No,
I have to agree with what Katie and Erin are saying about the size of the resort. The resort is actually, it only has about 300 rooms, and the maximum capacity is 900 people. And that's if every bed in the resort is full, which is really nice. It has a adult only Zen section. which I think was, correct me if I'm wrong, the Emerald Jungle. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right?
And
Um,
Archipelago.
Yes,
That's right.
archipelago.
And so, which was nice. So if you want to go as an adult only couple, it's great. You have your own areas to eat. It's the same food, but you have a room that doesn't have any kids in it. There's no crying. It's, so it is almost like you have your own little destination.
Yes. And there also was a family section away from everything and actually over by a lot of like the activities, like where the archery and stuff like that was, and the kids zone. So that way all the families were in that one area. And the only way we ever saw any kids was if we were at the pool or if we happened to be over in that area where the families were. I didn't personally see that many children.
Right. And the buildings, none of them were built above the palm trees. So if you were out in the ocean, it was kind of just like nestled back in there, and it wasn't an eyesore or anything. It was just it just felt cozy and intimate and just relaxed feeling. And the rooms, let's talk about how big those rooms were.
We were huge.
I don't know about you guys, but we were the only ones that got a suite.
So jealous.
My roommate and I ended up in the suite, and so we had extra square footage. So our rooms were even bigger, but they're just very airy and open.
Yes.
Every room in our section had a patio. So if you're on the first floor, it was a walkout patio. Ours had an ocean view because we were in the suite. And then the second floor had a walkout patio as well, and those had such beautiful views out those second floor patios. A picnic table out there, 2 sunshades lounges, and then just some chairs. So I read a book out there one day, and it was marvelous. So good.
Wow.
Yeah, and actually, what was really fun about where my room was, they are connecting rooms. So, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that room holds 4. Each one held 4 people.
Each one held 4. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we had some of our agents were in the room next to us, so we were able to open the door. So it was like a big old party going on, having everybody stop by and, being able to talk to the people next door was fun. And, so it would be really nice for a family that had kids and wanted a separate living area. So, and it was very close to everything. We weren't far at all. I mean, no matter where you were in the resort, you were not far from anything.
Yeah. You got everywhere pretty fast. I mean, it didn't take long to get anywhere.
Yeah, and we were in the basic room, the bottom room category, and then we had the opportunity to tour the other rooms, and we toured the other adults only section called Archipelago. Although my accent says that weird, Archipelago.
Yeah, archipelago. I don't know. I can't say it.
Anyways, that fancy word, and they were like literal condos. Like they were huge rooms, and each one of those rooms had a separate bedroom with a king size bed, a living area, and then they had their own private pool overlooking the ocean. I mean, if you want luxury in your life, that's where you go. I mean, they were nicer than my house.
Right.
They were
so
gorgeous.
Nice.
And the penthouse room was something to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think out of the penthouse, there was only like 6 of them.
Yes.
If I remember right, like in that, and they were all upstairs and there's only 6 of them. And those were great because it's got like those, they were just gorgeous. It had like the big, huge king bed that had like the ocean view. It had the family room. And then the very front, it had like those kids rooms
Kids' rooms
with,
were really
with
cool.
their own bathrooms. So they actually had multiple bathrooms. It wasn't like this big, huge space sharing one bathroom. They had multiple bathrooms, which was fantastic.
Correct. The other nice thing with the penthouse rooms is you can rent out the entire building as a condo for a multi-generational family. So if you have, like grandma and grandpa, then aunt and uncle, mom and dad, or other aunt and uncle, you guys could all rent out one building, share the space, kind of open up those connecting rooms like Kendra said, and have all that space. So it's great for those multi-generational families.
Yeah.
And I really loved the colors in the rooms. Like we were in Caribbean Paradise and we had like the orange and the like hot pink kind of, and
Yeah.
and it was just so pretty. And then when you went to Archipelago, I'm not saying that right. It was like a blue, and you had all the blues, and then you go back to Emerald Jungle, and it's the greens, but it's not like too much. It's still bright and airy, and then the family. There was 2 family sections. The
Explore
yellow
Cove.
La Perla, and what was the other one?
Explore Cove.
Yeah. And I just loved the colors of the whole resort. They just meshed so well, but they were bright and airy, and it just, I don't know, I just loved it.
Even the kids' camps were very colorful.
They were. Yes.
So I heard somebody mention archery earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about some of the other things there are to do on the resort.
Well, Kristen was the star of the archery range, so why don't you go ahead?
I think they're exaggerating. It wasn't really me, but I'll pretend. So a bunch of us agents had gone down to archery, and we had a lesson on how to do it from Johnny, who was actually, he does multi-jobs on the resort. He is the archery manager, and he also is an actor in the evening show.
Oh, really?
So apparently that we didn't realize that at the time. He was incognito, and we figured it out when they announced him in the show. But it was really nice because he did hands-on with us. He helped us to, hold the bow and arrow. And of course, because I am very uncoordinated, even though I'm left-handed, he had me do it the way I was supposed to. It doesn't work because I couldn't close my eye right. So, he worked with me to switch to my side and give me a new bow and arrow. So he was very patient with that. So that was one of the really cool things to do. They do break it up into kids and adults so that you don't have to worry about kids being there or vice versa. Everybody has their own space and time, which is nice. And then in that same general area is also circus camp.
Yes, I did the trapeze.
That's Katie's specialty. That was not
Yep.
me.
It was not pretty, but I did it. I checked
Be
it
ready
off.
to sign up for Barnum and Bailey.
And they have a trampoline right next to that too. So if you didn't want to do the trapeze, you could do the trampoline. But
One of my favorite. Oh, go ahead, Kendra.
I wonder if it was the same thing. Like we did the treehouse yoga
Yes, we did.
for meditation. And Erin, I don't even think you realized what happened, but I was in the back, and it literally, what happened. It literally is this. It's you're in this gorgeous like jungle, and there's this tree house, and you walk on up, and you go there, and you lay out your mat, and we're doing this meditation. And because it is in the jungle, there might be some animals that might just drop on you in the middle of it. So I had a baby gecko drop on me in the middle of it. Scared me to death. But I mean, it was funny when all was said and done. And I was trying so hard not to laugh. But it was great. Like I actually left there feeling very relaxed. Even though I had a hard time, since we were in the back, we had a hard time hearing her. So we were kind of looking more than we were like really listening. But it was great. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was great. It was something I think I needed and didn't realize I needed it.
Yeah,
and that was in the adult only part, right?
That was
The
in
what?
the adults only.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was over in the jungle section.
Yeah.
And I did aerial yoga.
Yeah.
That was a real experience as well. There's lots of videos floating around in case anybody's interested in how coordinated I am.
The whole resort has a very eco-friendly vibe, very much attention to the eco-friendliness of giving back to the land, being zen with your body, that kind of whole thing. So there was yoga almost every like 3 to 4 hours. There was a yoga option. It was very yoga centric. One of the other options for yoga was sunset yoga right on the beach, and that was absolutely gorgeous.
Did really you see that happen?
I walked by. Unfortunately, we had to go to dinner at the time, but they were setting up, and you couldn't ask for a more beautiful setting. I am not a very zen yoga sit still kind of human, but I did, and it was wonderful. And I need to do it more because sitting still is not my specialty. So, but it kind of made you focus and sit down and relax. And I feel like oftentimes on vacation these days, it's just go, go, go. And that is an option at this resort, and is an exact opposite option at this resort. You can do either side, and that's what I like so much about these resort activities was you can horseback ride, you can stand up paddleboard, you can archery, you can be in the circus, or
Yeah.
you can put your butt in a pool chair, have a drink, and ignore that all that's going on, and just have a great relaxing vacation with that kind of stuff.
What I
Let's talk
actually
about-
thought was really interesting, being that I've been to, other all-inclusive destinations, was the number of people that participated in every event. I mean, every class was full. We were in the pool when they started doing aerobics. I would bet there was 100 people in there doing it.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
there
yeah.
was so many of us.
I mean, it was everywhere. Like every single event was like that. There was participation. There was the power walking in the morning. There was the gym that people were exercising. And as an agency, we all there were 24 of us total, plus our BDM was there. And I think between us, we all did every activity there was.
Yeah.
To check out, whether it was paddle boarding or some of us were trying to kayak. Again, that would be me.
Horseback riding. You did horseback riding.
I did horseback riding. That was another site. Coordination is not my specialty whatsoever.
Kristen and I ran across that little island in the pool, and we did
That was
wonderfully.
That was definitely
Yeah, and it was fun too because the pool, there was a main pool where that was for everybody, all families and adults alike. And they kind of had activities there throughout the day, but there was Latin dancing. They had lessons. They had the yoga or the water aerobics in the morning. They brought out like this little island floaty thing and did races in the afternoon, music, all sorts of stuff. And then in the evenings, they had the show there. So they had that, but then also they had the Zen pool, which is in the adults only section. So if, kids in the pool is not your thing, water aerobics not your thing, you could go to the Zen pool and just kick back and relax with a drink too. So there was a lot of options.
There was the swim up bar there, right?
There was a swim up bar there, yeah.
And what I liked about it, go ahead.
I was going to say the pool there was really unique. Never seen it in my life, but it was a all natural pool.
Yeah.
So there's no chemicals, no chlorine, no nothing. And it was filtered because on the sides of the pool was fish, not in the water, but the water filtered in through, and like the fish clean the water, and it's that whole eco thing and living with the land and all that kind of stuff. So that was cool to see because that's something very unique to Club Med, very standing up to what Club Med really is all about.
And then there was also a family-only pool that you could only go to if you were in the La Perla section. But that was cool too because it, it was definitely families, had a little teepee area, and it was fun, but it wasn't crowded either. So
So, Club Med, I think lots of times people hear the word club and they're like, oh, is this something I have to join? Or, are there any sort of fees on top of just what you pay for, the cost of your vacation rental or anything like that? So how does all of that work with the membership to Club Med?
So Club Med, you do pay a fee. It's $60 for adults and $30 for children. It is good for an entire year, and that basically includes all your insurances. So trip insurance, which is a must-have in this day and age. You cannot travel without trip insurance anymore. It's just not a good thing to do. But that is all included. So if you were to go, in January, that same trip insurance, that same Club Med membership fee would be good if you went in like November as well. And in any Club Med. So if you went to the one in Canada, Spain, Alps, anywhere, they're all good for any Club Med.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the beach. We've talked about the pools, and it's awesome to have the option to lounge by the pool. But if you want to go sit on the beach, what is the beach like at this resort?
It's gorgeous.
The most beautiful beach you have ever seen in your entire life. I've traveled to many Caribbean islands, all up and down Mexico, all over Southern Europe. Hands down, by and large, the most beautiful beach I have ever seen.
Yeah. There was like no seaweed.
Nope.
Per se. And I think they said, if I'm not mistaken, that they actually come by at like 6 a.m. and make sure to like clear anything that might have possibly come up our way. So myself and another agent one morning decided to get up at 6 to go tour the resort just to kind of get pictures with nobody out there. we didn't see them clearing the beach, but there were also like, there was nobody out. There were no workers, nothing. But even at that time, there was nothing that we saw that was like coming in from the sea. So it was gorgeous. It was like crystal clear, and it was great.
Awesome. So we've saved for last the topic that most people want to know the most about whenever we discuss an all-inclusive resort, and that is the food and drink options. So talk to us a little bit about what the food was like. Did you enjoy the food? And how is everything included, or are there certain dining opportunities that are an extra upcharge?
So there are 3 restaurants at Club Med Beaches. There is there's a sit-down restaurant where you order off the menu, and then there is the buffet, which really didn't feel like a buffet, like you think of cafeteria buffet. It was way more, so we can get into that too. And then there's the steakhouse, and the steakhouse does have an upcharge, and the gal said that varies based on time of year, but I believe it was about $100 per person when we were there. Anybody know about?
That's what I remembered them saying.
I think that's
So that would be an extra. But the buffet itself was where we ate most of the time, and it was just so many different types of food. They had a different theme every night. One night they were hand rolling gnocchi and making fresh gnocchi. One day there was like sushi. So lots of options, and the options changed every night. So it wasn't like you were in the same building, but you weren't eating the same food every night.
And what was nice about it is everything was hot. Some items, and we're not quite sure why. I don't know if it's like because things were harder to get where we were. I mean, we were literally an hour and a half from the airport and from civilization. There was nothing near us. So some items were cooked and plated already, into small dishes. I don't know if that was just because it was harder to get those items. So they didn't want people filling their plates and throwing them away. And then there were other things where you could just put the items on your plate. Masks were not required on resort. However, when you were at the buffet, you had to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah. That was the only time we ever had to wear a mask, is when we walked in for the buffet.
Well, and honestly, I'm okay with that because I've never been a huge fan of people breathing on my food. So
so I was like, let's just keep that forever. That should just be a thing. One more thing with the food, and it kind of touches on something we haven't really talked about either, is how accommodating they are for small kids. Now, none of us traveled with our children, but I am a mommy of little babies, and so I kind of paid attention to that. They had a whole section in the buffet that was all handmade baby food. Like they had steamed veggies. They had a Vitamixer sitting right there that you could puree those hand steamed veggies. They had every kind of milk you've ever heard of in your life. They provide formula for you if your baby is on formula. They have pumping stations if you need to pump and keep your milk sanitary. All that kind of stuff. Traveling with an infant there is what they specialize in, traveling with kids and like toddlers, and you can tell because everything you could think of with traveling, they provide strollers for you if you're traveling, cribs, pack and plays, the whole 9 yards.
In the chocolate room.
And the chocolate room.
That was important.
That was last night. We got it.
Yeah, we finally got to go to the chocolate room, and it's just really cool. They had candy all along all the walls. You could get a stick with a marshmallow on it and dip it into the chocolate fountain. And the atmosphere was just fun.
Very Willy Wonka.
Yes,
It was. That was the best way to describe it. And the kids, like you could tell there was artwork from kids on the walls, and it was cute. I mean, it was definitely geared for the kids, but I think we were totally excited. We were waiting every night for the chocolate room, and that we were able to go in the last night, and that was exciting.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for sharing everything that you experienced at Club Med. It sounds like this is a great option, whether you are traveling with just a group of adults, or maybe you're, there with just your spouse, or you're bringing your kids. It sounds like it's one of those things that can really appeal to everybody. Thank you to all of you for watching with us tonight. If you would like to get more information about planning a trip from any of the agents that you heard from this evening, our contact information is back at the beginning of the video. video and feel free to reach out. Keep in mind that it is no additional charge for you to book your vacation through one of our agents versus what you would pay to just go online and book it direct. But when you're booking with an agent, you have concierge level vacation planning services and someone in your corner to help you navigate the unforeseen, which, as we have seen in the past couple of years, sometimes life happens in ways that you can't anticipate. And so having a travel professional in your corner at no added cost to you is really a win-win situation for you as a consumer. And Marvelous Mouse Travels can help you with anything from an all-inclusive vacation to a cruise to a theme park and beyond. So pretty much anywhere you want to go, there is an MMT agent that can help you get there. And again, thank you so much for watching tonight. We hope to see you again really soon for another episode of Sundays with MMT. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.